So this is the Oz report for March 2nd, 2025. And today we won't start with PLEX as usual. Today we have to talk about the impact of the CCP Okami dev blog. If you are living under a rock, CCP Okami put out a big dev blog that outlined the current state of mining and mineral resource supply overall in EVE Online. Very, very good read. Very happy CCP is putting out these types of dev blogs now. I won't go into the details of the dev blog because that's what we've been doing on stream for the past hour, but let's talk about the market impacts of this, because immediately some changes have been announced for March. For example, larger rocks, some changes to Metanox moon mining, etc., etc. And so if we're looking at mineral pricing overall, mineral pricing had been going from record to record to record, and what we're seeing this week is 8% down in minerals. Minerals are down across the board, so every single mineral is down, which is quite big. If we're looking at the numbers, let me just pull them up here. We're looking, for example, Morphite. These are numbers from last night, just because Australia. Morphite down 11%, Maxilon down 17%, Noxium and Megasite down 7%, Pyrite down 5%. So across the board, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed, but people already are anticipating these changes should have a fairly big impact, and so you have already speculators dumping materials, even miners with stockpiles dumping materials, possibly alliances dumping materials, because they're expecting to be able to rebuy these minerals sooner at a cheaper price. So we'll see what happens, but certainly what CCP has promised is more minerals, larger rocks, some new T3 updates in null, a higher cost for Metanox moon drills in terms of magmatic gas, which they're hoping will clear up some of the pyrite shortages, and then 2 or 3 actions on the refining side to also alleviate some of the morphite bottlenecks. And so most of those big bottleneck and MPI discussions that we've had over the past few weeks is culminating into this. And they're also saying that they're going to review the mining and mineral state every 2 weeks to decide whether more is needed. So, I think a lot of the community rejoiced this week. This is a very, very important dev blog, and this has already had pretty significant market impacts. If we look at the other impacts besides basic minerals, of course, we have to talk moon materials. Moon materials are on the R4 side up 19%, and this is because of the 35% cost increase announced in terms of magmatic gas for Metanox moon drills. So people are expecting there to be fewer R4 moons covered by Metanox moon drills, going back to active moon mining, therefore alleviating some of the basic mineral bottlenecks, and also making the current massive oversupply of R4 and R8 moon materials less so, and that's why prices are rising there. R16, R32, R64 moons aren't reacting as violently because they're not as impacted in terms of profitability by the Metanox cost increase. So that's the big news this week. Dev blog, definitely go out and read it. It's a very good read. It's the best dev blog I think we've seen in years from CCP, and so shout out to CCP Okami for taking the time to write that out and also implementing some of the changes. One big thing I wanted to mention also is Abyssal Materials. Abyssal Materials, if we're going down here, they are down 12%. So if you listen to the Oz report frequently, then you know that Abyssal Materials, so crystalline isogen 10 and 0-point condensate, have been running from record to record. This is a fairly new development, and indicating a on one hand a popularity for Triglavian ship, on the other hand a decreased supply from people running Abyssal pockets. And so this week we finally see that come down a little bit, but really not massively. There's still a very big shortage out there. So overall, only 0.6 trade days available for Abyssal materials. And we're seeing that also manifested in Triglavian ship pricing. So you're seeing, if you're looking at what you're seeing here, the Ikatursa, you can see sharply increasing. The Lishak has been increasing for a while. This is not only basic mineral prices, but now also Abyssal materials. You see the Nurgle increasing, and if we're looking at some of the tier 1 ships, which are even more impacted by the Abyssal materials, then you can see that it's the same over here. All right. Finally, I do want to get back to PLEX and PLEX adjacent items, and that's because there are new starter packs in EVE Online. So CCP has retired the old bronze to platinum packs, and we now have mastery packs level 1 through 5. Again, if you want the detailed discussion, I did cover this in my stream earlier, but there's just much more transparency now in terms of what's in these packs, which is also shown by another fantastic dev blog on packs and monetization that came out this week, where they included a table that compares the different packs to each other. And even that is already a great step forward. They've reduced some of the gamification in these packs. The packs now, if you look at their actual value, they are about a 30 to 50% discount over regular pricing, which isn't a big, huge thing, because regular pricing, as we all know, is very, very expensive. That's why people rely on sales. However, what I can say about these packs is that they are uniformly a good value. So there's really none of these packs are breaking out of line because they're bad value or anything. They're all very similar in the value for money they deliver, and they're more transparent than before. And they don't include stuff like skins, which people I don't think need in the context of this, or was never a purchase decision in the context of starter packs. And so you get some Omega, some PLEX, some SP, and one thing, or a couple of things that I want to mention about these packs. One, they're still only one-time purchase, just like the previous starter packs. And two, they're currently not available in the New Eden store. And that's why PLEX is down 2% this week, because there's no additional PLEX pressure from the New Eden store, which we've seen so many times in the previous months and years. So feel free to buy these. These aren't, amazing. I don't know if they're going to do sales on these in the future. They aren't like mind-blowing, like the 50% off starter pack sale that we saw last month, of course, but they are a very good buy. If you're spending real money, definitely have a look at these, because they provide a good way of a permanent discount to EVE. And if you do decide please consider using the creator code Oz, either in Marquee, Dragon Store, or the EVE store, and I get a revenue share. All right. I think that's it for the Oz report today. We're going to return to the regular stream, and then I'll catch you guys next week.